All right, my boy Yosef, how are we doing today? It's Monday, it's Valentine's Day. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Got a lot of stuff done today. Prepping for, to talk to you and just enjoying the day. It's been a beautiful day here in sunny Daphne, Alabama. So
Ooh, and you have a girlfriend, right?
I do.
So what are your plans for the night?
We don't have anything planned. She lives pretty far away. She lives up in New York, so
Oh, wow.
a little bit of a distance thing. So
So maybe a little FaceTime date.
I'm thinking that'll be good. So
Maybe you'll send her some roses, or are we scarred?
I've already sent her that. I've already sent her.
Okay.
Why demonize the flower itself?
That's fair. That's a good point. Well, I'm so excited to have you here. This has been a long time in the making as we've been friends for maybe a year now since the first time we talked. And I know the show did not end up the way you wanted to, and you wanted to kind of get things off of your chest and clear the air. Is this your first podcast or interview since the show?
Yeah, it is actually.
So we're
So
gonna get all of the tea.
all of it, exactly.
Oh my God, amazing. So let's just get right into it. Why did you decide to go on The Bachelorette to begin with?
I was really tired of dating in my area. It had gotten pretty stagnant, and I was like, you know what, I want to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and try this out. So
And have you watched the show before?
no, I had never watched the show, but my best friend Gilad, he was super into it, and I when I told him, he was like super excited for me. So
So did you apply or did someone submit an application for you?
no, I applied. I was literally driving to the gym, and I'm not saying you should be submitting bachelorette or bachelor applications while you're driving, but I was literally driving to the gym and I did the short form application, and I swear, like the next day, I had a call. So
Wow. Did you like expect to get on the show though? I feel like a lot of people apply, so the chances are pretty slim.
no, I really didn't expect to get on the show or anything. I was again just stepping outside of my comfort zone. Let me try something new. I gave 3 photos, one of me, one of Zara, and then another random photo. So I really didn't expect a call back.
Yeah, and then things really just happened and The Bachelorette, your season ended up getting postponed because of COVID. So did that make you question if you were really supposed to go, or were you just still all in for whenever it was supposed to be?
I mean, it was like, okay, I got a little bit more time to prepare now. I didn't take it as a negative. I was just like, all right,
Mhm.
cool. I can go back home, prepare a little bit more, get my mind right and go back to it. So, but it
So
was
they
wild. I mean, flying out there, then having to fly back. I mean, that was definitely interesting to talk to my job at the time. So
Yeah,
about
because you could you not tell your job about it?
no, I told them about like, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to be doing. And they said, yeah, come back, we'll figure it out. It's not a problem. And
Mhm.
then of course, whenever I went back the second time, it was like, all right, well, COVID had happened. I mean, the sales were down anyway. So I had to find elsewhere to work after that. So
Yeah, and it was announced that Clare was going to be the Bachelorette. So you never saw the show before. So did you use those few months looking up Clare, looking up her old seasons, or did you just kind of want to wait to meet her when you got there?
no, I didn't. I didn't want to spoil that initial like moment, meeting her because I was honestly super excited to meet
Mhm.
Claire. I still had a great time, and I just didn't want to spoil it. I wanted it to be very natural, just like you would meet someone out in public.
Mhm. Yeah, that's fair enough. So then you get there, there's the cameras, there's the lights. Everything seemed like it was going well, and then it really got dark pretty quickly. Did you ever expect to be this Bachelorette villain?
No, I really didn't. I mean, Zach, you and I have interfaced like
Yeah.
quite a the past, year or so, and I mean, I'm not that type of person. I didn't
Mhm.
expect that to happen. Of course, I did want to stand my ground. I wish I had presented my issue a little bit more, I don't know, more tactfully.
Yeah.
But what's done is done. All I can say is, I'm not apologetic for what I was upset about, but I am sorry for how I presented that.
Yeah,
So
and if everyone doesn't remember, it was the famous dodgeball date, and the contestants were supposed to get naked or take each a piece of clothing off each round or something. And then, I mean, were you on the date? I don't remember.
No, I wasn't on the date. The biggest thing that stood out to me was whenever we were all in the room, like after the date, like the post date. At first, I was kind of laughing it off um, because like I was like, oh, what's going on? Why are the guys naked on the couch? And then I go into the room, I see I see Garen's face. I see Garen's face. He looked completely like distraught. He looked so upset, and I was like, why, man? Why do they make these guys do that? I mean, this is like rough. Like this is something that they're gonna have to live with for the rest of their lives. I'm not saying that the guys were wrong and do it by any means. I think there was some production issues with that. I don't think they should have done that to the guys. Just like I don't think they should make the girls strip down to their underwear whenever they're doing silly stuff like I've seen in the past. So
Yeah, but what about the art? How do you respond to the argument that this is the Bachelorette? You had a few extra months to watch the show. Things like this could have happened. Like, how do you respond to people saying that you should have done your research and known that things just get crazy on the show and that's what you signed up for?
I mean, again, I probably should have taken it a little bit more lightly. I still stand by what I said. I wish I had said it differently. I think it would have gone a lot further if I had presented, my concern a lot better. So
Yeah, not like you're the oldest Bachelorette ever. I mean, now we can laugh about it since it's been a year, but what was like your main point, just to kind of clear the air? What was the biggest problem you had with Clare specifically, not production, not the crew?
I honestly don't know. I mean, that
Yeah.
that conversation just escalated really quickly. At first, I thought it was going pretty well, and I don't know. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I think maybe it was nerves, maybe it was something else. Ultimately, again, it just wasn't how I should have presented myself. But I didn't have an issue with Claire. I thought Claire was very attractive. She was nice. She was kind. All these things, but yeah, I don't know what I was trying to accomplish with how I spoke. All I know is I wanted to make a point, and I think I took it a little bit too far. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
Claire, I wanted her to be happy. I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, I don't begrudge her or anything. And she's dating one of my friends from the show. He was in my limo, everything, night one. And like, I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for him. It's so funny. Like, I have a connection with two guys that she's dated in the past. Like, Dale was my roommate on the show. And then Blake was, definitely a friend, from the beginning of the show till now.
Oh,
So.
so you've been friends with the Tatty Daddy Blake since your time on the show.
Oh, definitely. We've talked over Instagram. I mean, we've chatted here and there. I mean, definitely a guy that I respect a lot. I respect Dell too. I don't have anything against Dell either. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I just met Dale over the weekend and I mean, I was very impressed. I liked him because I didn't know what to expect either. But I'm kind of shocked to see Claire dating Blake, the Tatty Daddy. I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere. It seemed like she was taking a page from Katie's book, going back to the archives, dating one of the early guys. Do you think that they're a good fit? And like, what can you kind of tell us about their relationship?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know like intimate details
Yeah.
about their relationship by any means, but I mean, they seem happy. I think you got to put yourself out there just like I did at the beginning and see what works. Um, you know, Trying is not a bad thing at all. Let's make
Yeah.
it work. Let's try something.
All right, well, we'll have to kind of see how that plays out. Now, getting back to your season a little bit, were you surprised that Claire ended up leaving the show from when your experiences were there? Because she probably left like a week or two after you left.
Definitely a curveball. I didn't expect to see that. I mean, I kept up with the show, right after I left, after they aired it, and I wanted to see what was happening. But yeah, it was a curveball. I didn't expect that. I mean, in what I know about the show, that never happened before, correct?
No,
Yeah.
never.
So I mean, it was all news to me, but the whole show was news to me anyway. So.
And I mean, it honestly gave us for a pretty epic season. And then everyone was so here for Tayshia when she came through. How do you think you would have fared with Tayshia if she was the Bachelorette and you got to stick around a little bit longer?
Tasha's gorgeous, and she's a really great person. I think we would have hit it off. I really do, but it's best not to speculate.
That's true. Well, you mean you could have shoot your shot. I mean, now you have a girlfriend, but I mean, she is single now.
Yeah.
So we'll have to kind of see. How did you meet your girlfriend and everything? And what was that like for you to kind of find someone? Is this the first girl you've dated since your time on the show?
Yeah, it is. And she found me on Instagram. We started talking over Instagram, and the rest is history. So.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know it was long distance. So hopefully you guys can kind of make it work and we'll get to see a little bit more content. Let's talk about the men tell all, because it didn't seem like that worked out for you either. You kind of still felt the same way. It seemed like a lot of the guys were against you. What do you kind of want to clear the air up about that?
Again, I go back and I want to take a moment. I want to apologize to Claire for how I spoke to her. Like, no one needs to be spoken to like that. And, I'm one of those people who can definitely take ownership and, know when I did something wrong. And I am truly sorry for doing that to her. Again, at the Men Tell All, I was really wanting to show that, hey, like, listen, I am a man and I stand by my word. I'm not going to fold under that type of pressure, people trying to change my outlook or my opinion. It's an opinion. That's all it is. That's what it is. I'm going to stick by it. I do wish I had spoke to her differently, but I still hold, my convictions very strong about the date. I don't agree with it. I just didn't like how it went out for the guys. I mean, I love the guys. I care for the guys so much. Like, it hurt me to see Garen upset. It really hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have a clear point. You shouldn't be no one should be being forced to get naked on national TV. And we even saw that last season on Michelle's season. Rodney was running around the house naked. I personally wouldn't get naked on TV if I didn't feel comfortable with. I would have told the producers no. But it seems like some of these guys are more into that and they're just more free. Let them do their thing. But ultimately, you did have a good point. Like you mentioned, your delivery just wasn't the best. Claire didn't end up showing up to the Men Tell All. So have you guys spoken since, or does she know that
No, I mean,
you guys are cool?
no, I sent her, whenever she started dating Blake, I felt it was a good time to kind of reach out to Blake and say, hey, listen, like, I wanted to, I want to apologize. I want to talk to Claire. I just didn't want to get lost in, her DMs. I'm sure she gets blown up. She has, a million followers. Yeah. So, what is a guy like me gonna like go into the DM and apologize? So I wanted to put it on her radar. So I reached out to Blake and said, hey, I wanted to apologize to Claire. I wonder if you could facilitate that. And I did send her a message as well, just apologizing for how I spoke to her. And, I haven't got a response by any means. And listen, I don't want validation from the apology. I wanted to apologize, for her and for me. So
that makes sense. And now Bachelor Nation, I mean, they've been kind of trolling you since your time on the show. I've seen, all the tweets, the memes. It's like, don't do this. Yosef has a kid at home. It like truly never ends. And now that we've become friends, I kind of get a little defensive because I know you and I know your perspective of things, but Bachelor Nation they're having fun with it. Do you think these tweets are taking things too far? Do you laugh at them when they see you? Does it trigger you?
No, I honestly laugh at them. I think they're hilarious. Listen, I'm not a prude over here. I'm not someone who can't take a joke. I mean, even with the whole naked dodgeball tournament or the strip dodgeball tournament, it's not about being a prude. I'm pretty open in all honesty. It's more so the principle of the thing, like hurting people and people not feeling comfortable. But yeah, I think it's hilarious. I love the meme, when they talk about like, oh, Yosef how can you do this? Yosef has a daughter at home, or Yosef's daughter may be watching. I think it's funny. I think it's really hilarious. The moon pie one still gets me to this day. So
okay, I'm glad that you can make a joke out of it, because once you kind of go on this show, you're going to be getting trolled and tagged in things for many, many years to come. And it truly just never ends, because that's The Bachelor. I mean, you're in a relationship, but would you ever go back on the show if that didn't work out? Or did you want to go to Paradise this summer?
I was interested in going in Paradise, like back when I was single, things like that. But, now probably not. Like, I'm happy with my life. I want to focus on career. I want to focus on, my family. I want to focus on things for me. And that's what I want to do. So.
And what is going on in your life? What's your career like? What are you growing towards? How's your daughter?
Yeah, so I'm a real estate agent and I'm also in software sales. So I do both, and I'm just trying to grow that and make something more of myself, and constantly challenging myself with new things. I always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you should find a different room and try to further yourself and develop yourself. Zara is doing amazing. I mean, she's growing like a weed. She just turned 6 back in November, and I can't keep up with how fast she's growing, and she's just turning into a little adult, and just cherishing every single moment with her.
That's so cool. And I want to ask you about this viral TikTok of you and Brendan that got everyone talking. It was kind of a play off of Pilot Pete, who left a bar in New York City because no one recognized him. And a lot of people thought that was Dale that he was with. I actually asked Dale when I met him this weekend, and he said that wasn't him, and that was blown out of proportion. So maybe it was Dustin. What was kind of the thought process going into that TikTok? Because it got everyone laughing.
Yeah, so whenever Brendan and I were in Aldean's, I was like, Brendan, we have to do a TikTok. This is like brand new, I think this is hilarious. Like, let's just be good sports, make a joke out of it. And I told Brendan I told him, like, hey, how should we do this? Like, and he started his TikTok, and we started recording, and it was just all in good fun. That's all it was. So
How was the response? Did you hear from any of your buddies, or did the Bachelor Nation, did everyone like it?
Yeah, I mean, Brendan posted it on his TikTok and everything like that. I didn't hear too much. I mean, people were like, how can Yosef be drinking with his daughter watching? Funny stuff, the normal memes for me. But yeah, I thought it was well received. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So
for now on, it's just gonna be like, how could Yosef do this? How could Yosef do that for many years to come? Now, Brendan actually got under fire recently last month. Some of his comments were very disrespectful. I'm sure you don't support them, neither do I. Have you kind of talked to him, and kind of how is he, dealing with his almost like a mini cancellation in a way? I mean, people are really trying to hold him accountable.
I love Brendan to death. He's like one of the most genuine, like kind person I know. He's like so nice. I mean, like you've seen, I've never got the chance to really do like Bachelor meetups or Bachelorette meetups, with any of the guys from my season. I got canceled hard. Like I got canceled really hard. But I think he's doing well. We all, again, I am the foot and mouth king. Like literally, I've put my foot in my mouth before. And the biggest thing is that we learn from it, we grow from it, and we continuously develop ourselves and better ourselves. But I love Brendan to death. He is literally one of the sweetest people I know. So.
Okay, cool to hear. And yeah, I mean, canceled. I mean, it happens when you're on TV, when you're on social media. We all make mistakes. We all need to be held accountable. What did you kind of learn from your mistakes, and where are you at now with Bachelor Nation, and how you kind of feel? It seems like you have a good sense of humor about things, and that you've moved on now.
I like the saying, control the controllables, and you can only control how you react to things. And again, like a lot of people don't realize, the level of emotional stress that you go through on the show even.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take it with a grain of salt. Most of these people, they would never say any of this to your face. They would never be mean to you, at least to your face. I think the worst thing I ever got to my face was like, "Oh, you're the villain, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, do I look like a villain? You're talking to me right now. Let's go grab a round of drinks. Like just have fun with it." So yeah, I mean, just have a good sense of humor about it, laugh it off, and just move forward.
So that's what you're doing, and that's kind of where you're at now.
Oh yeah.
And do you feel like you got everything kind of off of your chest from this interview? Because this is your first one since you left the show. The contract seems to be a little up now. It's loose.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really good to get those things and just share like what I wanted to say. Especially, again, I really hate how I spoke to Clare. I don't consider myself just an evil person or a rude person. I try to be as nice as possible to anyone I meet. And I did her a disservice by speaking to her like that, because again, she's been through the same things that I've experienced on the show, and she's been through it a lot more than anyone.
Yeah.
So like I have to realize that she didn't have as much control, or maybe she just, she's been through it too. I want to apologize again to her. Like it was unacceptable how I spoke. So.
I mean, that's amazing. I hope that she gets this message, or at least that Blake, kind of told her, and that Bachelor Nation listens to this and knows that you're not a bad guy and that you're enjoying the jokes, so that they can all move on. Are you watching Clayton's season of The Bachelor?
No, I haven't really been keeping up with it. I just honestly, I haven't had a lot of time. I mean, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. Didn't have enough time. Yeah. So, I wish everyone in Bachelor Nation well. I mean, we have a unique opportunity to reach out to people. I've always wanted to use my platform for good. I hope that I can do that. I'm working with a couple, different foundations right now about, like cybersecurity, romance scams, things like that. I've always wanted to use my platform for good. It's never been about sponsorships or anything like that. It's always been about, bettering my fellow man or woman. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been so much fun, such a lovely chat. Where can everybody follow you and find you, and what else do you got going on that you want to share?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, of course, Yosef Reality, TikTok, Yosef Reality. I have a pretty unique name, so if you just type in Yosef Reality, you're going to find me on every platform. But where I'm going from here is just, again, continuously bettering myself and bettering my daughter's life. So
Amazing. All right. Well, then thank you so much.
thanks, Zach. Have a good one.
You too.